girly as me. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the fam bam. And if you're returning, I love you. Today's video, I just wanted to sit down, comfortable, cozy, okay? I got my cranberry juice, okay? We're on a detox. This phase that I've been in currently, I've been in receiving mode. I realized that I was dwelling very hard in my masculine energy. I'm finally in a place where I can share my truth and the things that have helped me embrace my feminine energy more, because I think that that's something that especially black women, black and brown women, but you guys know I always try to speak from the perspective of a young black woman in my age group, just because we need it, because it's very important that we are able to receive as much as we give, because we like, if you know me, you know that I'm such a giver. Like, I am a lover, and I've accepted that, but I also have accepted and I've taken accountability that I have given a little bit too much and overextended myself, and I haven't allowed myself to be in receiving mode. So now that I've done the work and I've reached the point where I can speak on this highly sensitive topic as a highly sensitive young black woman, I'm just here to help y'all, okay? So I'm here to speak my truth. Y'all already know what to do, and let's get into it. I gotta get a phone case, jeez. All right, so I have my notes. The best way I know how to express to y'all what divine feminine energy is to me is to explain what wounded feminine energy is. Wounded feminine energy is when you lack integrity, when you lack acting and speaking from a place of integrity within yourself, when your values are compromised very easily, or you're easily codependent. It is when you're too attached, and you're easily manipulated or easily manipulative. I used to be in like this victim mentality, which is also a sign of wounded femininity. I used to, in like relationships and friendships, I used to just play victim a lot, and I didn't realize how emotionally manipulative I was to people that I dated, or even just behind closed doors in friendships. I was always playing the victim, you know, like wanting to be saved. And there's a difference from wanting to be saved and wanting to be supported. And I realized, you know, it was a cry for help. Like, we all, especially as black women, we want to be supported, but when we don't know how to express that in a healthy, mature, and emotionally stable way, we can become manipulative, and that's not a good thing. We as women, we're so powerful. We have this innate magic stored within us, stored within our womb, stored within our hearts, our minds. Like, we are born magical. We can always tap into that. So we as women, if we have the power to create life, then we also have the power to create the life we want, right? So the next note I have here is that black women in particular, we struggle with balancing out and spending quality time within our feminine energy, because it's all we know or have been taught. The way we take compliments, the way we accept offers, the way we show up in spaces that are supposed to be safe and comfortable for us when someone's trying to love us. I keep seeing birds fly by. It's so beautiful. I feel like we just struggle with really being comfortable within ourselves to just and to not feel like we have to do anything or prove ourselves to be worthy of receiving different types of love. We struggle with that, honestly. It's uncomfortable most of the time for us. We either self-sabotage through self-hate, or we overextend our temples, our minds, our bodies, our hearts. So next, I want to share with you guys just the mini list I made of, it's just like little daily doses of love practices for you to help you tap into your divine feminine energy. So the first thing I have here is meditation, okay? Obviously, a lot of people talk about mantras. I never really know how to pronounce it, but you know what I'm talking about. Affirmations, right? Everybody's talking about you speak it, rewiring your brain. It took me a while to realize how I would speak to myself whenever I did something wrong, or just that subconscious voice in my head, like I said, telling me that I had something to prove to the world, and if I was being too stagnant, which a lot of the time was really just me relaxing because I had done enough and I deserved that moment, that space, that time to relax and receive. I just want to talk about ways that you can rewire your brain, or that have worked for me. True belief in something is when you're able to feel yourself smiling from the inside out. So I'm going to give you guys an example. There are 4 types of practices where you can repeat a mantra to yourself, or you can write it down. So an example would be, I am worthy of relaxing and receiving love. And I'm going to put a little picture of the note that I have here of the ways that you can do that. The first way is repeating the mantra out loud. So I am worthy, and a lot of the times, because the left side of your body is the feminine, the right side of your body is the masculine. When I would repeat a mantra to myself lately, I would put my left hand over my heart and my right hand over my solar plexus, which is masculine and feminine. So I would balance that out. I would rub it, tend to it. You can get crystals, whatever works for you. So I would go like, I am worthy of relaxing and receiving love. I am worthy of relaxing and receiving love. And I would repeat that until I truly believed it, and I would find myself like smiling, because I'd be like, yeah, like I am worthy of relaxing and receiving love. And it would just feel so good to self-soothe my body. Like, and essentially that is what divine feminine energy feels like to me. It's like a self-soothing ritual. I would do this before I fall asleep. You know, if I'm too lazy to like, namaste, I like sit poised and meditate. Sometimes I go on YouTube and I look up, you know, divine feminine affirmations, divine feminine frequency music. You can get creative and just put anything on in the background as you go to sleep, because believe it or not, when you sleep, your subconscious is absorbing information from the sounds around you. So that's another way that I've been deprogramming my subconscious mind to be comfortable within her divine feminine energy. So I'll be like laying in my bed at night and I'll be like, I am worthy of relaxing and receiving love. And I would say that enough until my body would respond and I would yawn. Like your itches, your yawns, everything, even your burps have like, those are, I feel like those are my ancestors speaking through me a lot of the times, because they live within me, right? In your lineage, in your bloodline. Practice your breath work. A lot of the times I talk about practicing breath work, where in my meditations, I'll inhale, switch, and exhale. And I'll do that with my spine posture upright, sticking my face forward, not slouched, just being comfortable and feeling confident within myself, and doing that breath work and repeating mantras in my head. That's helped me a lot. And of course, like, you can write them down. It just depends on how your brain absorbs information the best. I like to journal. Sometimes I don't feel like journaling and I just want to listen and tune in. You can get creative with that however you want. Let's talk about the body, okay? I find it interesting because we as a society, like, we're always on the go. I didn't realize how rushed my self-care practices were. So an example, like, this morning, I took a shower and I took my time, I shaved, I was feeling good, and I chose to sit on my yoga mat and really just like spread my naked body out. And I got, you know, some lotion, some cocoa butter, baby oil, and I really just listened to my favorite music. You can listen to some SZA, some Lauryn Hill, whatever helps you tune in. And I take my time moisturizing myself, getting the creases of my thighs, getting my elbows. When I was younger, my mother would always make sure that my elbows weren't ashy, my knees weren't ashy before I go out. And I think that that is a beautiful feminine aspect, is taking the time to cleanse, wash, nurture, and moisturize every inch, crevice, and crack of your body. I feel like that is such a beautiful practice. So your body, your temple, you need to take your needs seriously and not feeling bad for it, not letting anybody rush me. Even if I have somewhere to be, if I know I have somewhere to be, I will take the time and I'll wake up early just so I know I can feel good before I step out into the world. Dancing, y'all know I love to dance, okay? I might not be the best at it, okay? But dancing lately has just really, oh my gosh, it's helped me tap into my sacral chakra so much. It's one of the best ways that I know how to express myself and feel sexy. And I just love moving my legs. I love heels, hip hop heels dancing in particular. But anyway, you know how to dance. Sometimes I just dance in my room. You can dance with the trees. There's so many ways that you can move your body and sway and tap into that feminine energy. Another favorite way is dressing up as my higher self. You know how when we were younger, we would like play dress up? And we found like such joy in that as little girls. Like, I used to always just dress up in my room and try on different clothes, and I would tap into my imagination and just envision, like, who do I want to be right now? there's a burp. Who do I want to be right now? And today, you know, like, who do I want to be before I walk out into the world? Do I want to be a goddess? Do I want to be a princess? Do I want to be grunge? Like, do I want to be a tomboy? Do I want to be girly? You can choose. And I think that, like, as women, that's such a powerful thing. A lot of the times we just throw on whatever we want, and we can do that too. And I used to do that, but I feel like I did that more covering it up as like, oh, I can wear whatever I want. I'm not gonna let my clothes define me. But I was really sad, and I was just being lazy with myself. So whatever helps you tap into your body, whatever gets you moving, it's so important that we move our hips, our thighs, our booties. It's so important that we move our arms and we sway, because we have so much stagnant energy that we absorb from our 9-to-5s, from when we go out and hang out with friends, when you go on dates, when you hang out with family, or even when you just had a lazy day, or when you had a depressed day. Sometimes we get so stuck and we don't realize that we have the power to shake it out, shake it off. But just listening to the world around me, period. So listening to conversations that I have with people and the things that they tell me, and sometimes it will align divinely with exactly what I need to hear. Listening to the animals, listening to the birds, listening to the trees, listening even to other people's conversations. There's so much within the world around you that you can listen to and absorb as knowledge that you need at that exact given moment. You'll hear a song, in the lyrics they speak to you. And this is all like receiving mode. This is feminine energy. So I think it's important that we take time to really silence ourselves. If you're a talker like me, it's kind of hard, but once you get into it, really prioritize silencing, like making time to go outside or go to your favorite places, or even when you're interacting with someone else, just take the time to really listen to what they're saying. Take the time to really listen to the lyrics within the music that you're listening to and how that can resonate within your life, because I promise you, God is always giving us signs. Talking to the moon, connecting with earth regularly. Water is your healer. Let's talk about that. The elements. Oh my gosh. So, and when I talk about water, intentional use and intentional practices of being in bodies of water. I love taking me a spiritual bath. I love sitting in a spiritual bath that I've made for myself with herbs, fruits in it, flowers, incense is burning, I got candles, and sometimes I'll listen to a song and I'll just cry, and then I'll just sink into the water, and when I come up, I literally feel like I've been reborn. Like, I feel like I'm baptizing myself, essentially. Going to lakes and rivers and just really letting myself sink into the water and letting it cleanse and purify my soul. Nothing restores my heart more than water. It really helps balance out my emotions. But for anybody, that can help you as well. Connecting to the earth, Mother Earth, Mama Gaia, she is so beautiful. We definitely, we need to treat her so much better. Have reverence for her. Go outside, stick your feet in the grass, sit under a tree, touch a tree, hug a tree. It's me and my homegirls, we talk to the moon, and we just passionately like yelled things that we wanted in our lives. And I promise you, 2 weeks later, we manifested like some good stuff, okay? Like, I was unemployed. My friend wanted some more love within her relationship, and she got engaged 2 weeks later. Had a job that she really wanted. Left a job that she hated. I promise you, talk to the moon. The moon is feminine energy embodied. I love Mama Moon. I love when the night is quiet and my favorite music is playing and nobody's around me. It's just me, my ancestors, and the moon. And I just look at her and I just speak things. I just speak how I feel, and I'm honest. That is another thing. Just be honest, okay? Like, you don't be embarrassed or don't feel ashamed or don't feel guilty to say things out loud that you want, because feminine energy is receiving, but more than anything, it's the awareness that you deserve everything that you are asking for, because you realize, yes, I am beautiful, I am powerful, I am magical, I deserve all the abundance that the world has to offer me. Stop overextending yourself. Not everything deserves your yes. Your yes is sacred. Your yes is valuable. Your time and energy is like your biggest form of currency. Value your time, okay? And if somebody really loves you, friend, family, lover, if somebody really loves you, then they will understand that. They will unconditionally love you regardless, and they will still respect you. And they won't be scared of a no. They'll be like, okay, it's a not now. Let her do her and let me come back later. And if somebody doesn't respect your no, bye. And that's something that I really had to work on within myself, because I used to tell everybody yes. Like I be working, cleaning my room, or even meditating, or, you know, just deep in my self-care practice. Somebody hits me up, hey, you want to go do this? What you doing? Yeah, you busy? And I will drop everything for other people. And then I end up getting dropped, left for dead, left out in the cold, abandoned. I have here from one of my favorite other YouTubers. Her name is Pretty Boss TV. She says, initiate people into your life. Yes, I view myself as, you know, like a divine artifact. You know, like I'm rare. And I know a lot of women say that. We have the right to say that because every woman on this earth is rare. But if you truly believe like, okay, I'm rare, not everybody deserves access to me, then you're going to start having people initiate themselves into your life, okay? Don't be so easily trusting. Don't be so easily giving, because not a lot of people can receive or reciprocate the love and energy and the time and the attention that you give. We really just need to make space to receive mentally, emotionally, energetically, and physically. Make space. Clean out old clothes. I had a lot of old gifts that like exes had got me. I was going through my clothes, and it was just certain pieces of clothing and accessories that I wore during a traumatic time in my life. I discarded it. Like I threw away like half my life before I made this move. And it just felt so good to start from a clean slate. Oh my gosh, community. I used to isolate myself and, oh, I'm the only one that feels this way, or whatever. That's a lie. Your mind is lying to you. There's always somebody, at least one other woman, one other person on this planet that thinks the way that you do, or similarly expresses the way that you do. So it's important for you to connect with other like-minded, or as I like to say, like-spirited women, and, you know, create, laugh, cry together, manifest, just talk, vent, express yourselves. It's so important that we as women, we have these spaces where we can just be ourselves, raw, unfiltered, naked, and unafraid. I find that when I spend too much time alone with my own thoughts, I can like just become very self-imploding, self-destructive, I don't know, self-pitying, self-loathing. It's important that you meditate. Yes, it's important that you have those moments of silence, but get out. You know, once you've done the inner work, and you know, get out and play. Get out and play and express and create and feel with other women. Me and my homegirls, the same ones that I talked to the moon with that one night, when I was living with them, I transitioned from Houston to San Antonio within the past few months. If you know my story personally, you know that I hated my job in Houston. I was sad. I was giving my time and energy to the wrong people. I was just so down bad. And I ended up following my instincts, following my gut. And, you know, I told my family, I was like, I need to change. This is not where I'm supposed to be. I'm really going through it. I hate this job. I'm pretty sure my boss hated me. And I reached out to my family. I reached out to my friends who I knew lived in San Antonio. And I just put my ego and my pride to the side. And I was just honest. And I was just vulnerable. And they took me under their wing, under their house. And I remember, like, when I was living with them those first couple weeks, they just allowed me to relax. And, you know, they gave me some wine one night, and we were just singing, doing karaoke, and just, because I didn't always have that. I used to be, like, bullied, outcasted. It's always, my relationship with other women, it hasn't always been healthy. Sometimes I feel like other women are intimidated by me. Other women that are not comfortable within themselves, I feel like they get intimidated by me, or they judge me. They think I'm a they think I am something that I'm not. And a lot of women have been scared to approach me, and I'm like, I don't bite hard. And I've always wanted more feminine friendships with women where I felt like I could truly be and express myself. And so now that I'm in the phase that I have these sacred spaces and these relationships with women who get me, who truly get me, and who truly love me, and who truly value me. And it's not dependent on what I can do for them, or it's just there. That is powerful. That makes me feel safe. And let's talk about our menstrual cycles, or our moon cycles. Virgo season started like yesterday, and a couple days before that was the full moon. I was on my period. This was the heaviest period that I've had all year of 2021. I literally felt like I was dying, but like spiritually, energetically, we are more sensitive, we are more intuitive, our auric field is heightened, so we're able to really connect, tap into the world around us, and we're able to see like with our third eye so much better when we're bleeding. And I think that that's just because when we as women, when we bleed, it's such a sacred thing. Society like just teaches us and ingrains in our brains that we need to be disgusted by our blood. Like, no, my blood is sacred. My blood is so sacred. I love bleeding because I know that I am shedding a part of who I used to be that no longer serves me anymore. I know that I'm more connected than anything to God and to my lineage, to my ancestors, and essentially myself. I love that feeling of just flowing, because I know that I am growing. Okay, my relationship with my body when it's on its moon cycle has changed, where I now teeter between feeling completely fragile and forgiving to being reborn and empowered. Yeah, there's so much restoration in the way we as women bleed and shed ourselves into a stronger and wiser version of ourselves. Gracefulness is the key. Be so tender, be so forgiving. Don't be hard on yourself. Do not hate your body. You need to like love your womb, take long baths, just do whatever makes you feel comfortable when you're bleeding, and make sure that you prioritize sacred practices that will make you feel more powerful and beautiful. I had a great day yesterday, and it was a Monday, a moon day. So I was in bed cuddling Lou, and I had my flashlight on, and I didn't know that the flashlight was essentially shining onto the mirror, and so the mirror was reflecting onto the wall, and it looked like a moon. It literally looked like a little moon was in my room, and I was just staring at it. I had this book in my lap, and I don't know, something clicked, and the page literally just turned. This beautiful book that I got, it's called Conversations, Stories and Poems That Speak to Our Soul by William R. Stevenson. And there was this one passage that I read because I was like, okay, Spirit, like you must want me to read this. Let's see what it's about. Let's see if there's a synchronicity. And it sure was. This passage is called Perfection. So it says, in parts of India where they make some of those beautiful rugs, the rug will be hanging and the artisan will be on the side of the design, while the apprentice will be on the other side. The task of the apprentice is to push the needle back in through so the artisan can continue to fill the design. But the apprentice, like all of us, sees in a mirror dimly. He can't always see the design on the other side. Again and again, he pushes back through in the wrong place. He makes mistakes. But the artisan doesn't turn to the apprentice and say, you stupid man, you're fired, I'm through with you. Rather, he has the ability to take this mistake, change the design, and weave it in another way. In the end, a beautiful rug has been made. What a parable. People who elect to be in recovery of their lives soon learn that perfection means right purpose. We, like the apprentice, we make mistakes, but we can learn from those mistakes and, like the great artisan, not give up on ourselves. Good mental health is when we can take our failures and weave them into a design of our lives so we can say, oh, how beautiful. Ooh, Spirit, you be talking, man. Spirit be talking, okay? Spirit be spitting. And when I read that passage, I thought about two things. First of all, I'm happy that I chose to follow my gut, my instincts. I put my ego, my pride to the side. And I'm happy that I never gave up on myself. I'm happy that God never gave up on me. And I'm happy that I chose to be here and I chose to stay here. A lot of people are talking about mental health now more than ever because the world is just like a kaleidoscope of chaos and happiness and joy and love and death and grief and loss and gain. There's a lot going on in the world. Life hasn't always been easy for me, and if you know me personally, like I've been through so many like just different types of heartaches, heart losses, and I can't even verbalize it. You see that I'm stuttering because when I think back on my life and the amount of pain that I've pushed through, I truly feel like like a woman, like I am a warrior. I truly believe that in myself, and it took some time. I'm really happy to be at the age 23 and to know that I'm not always going to be happy, but I shouldn't chase happiness. I can choose happiness. Life is a choice. Love is a choice. Happiness is a choice. That is scary to a lot of people. And it was scary to me when I felt unmotivated and I felt like I didn't have purpose. I didn't have meaning. I didn't have motivation. I wasn't beautiful. I wasn't as smart as or whatever. And then something clicked. And I was like, you know what, Talia? Let's reflect back on our childhood. Let's really retrace our steps. You really her. You really her. Stop doubting yourself. Be proud of who you are. And choose every day to prioritize your happiness and to embody joy and to be beautiful and to be strong and to be courageous. And also, choose to give love. There's a lot of times that I was selfish and I knew I had something to give, but I guess like imposter syndrome, there's so many reasons why we fear giving to the world around us, but I just said no more. Sometimes I was really down bad and I was just like, I don't want to be here. Like, man, I don't know how I'm going to continue to be here. Like, what is the point? And God would just whisper, like, just go to sleep. You tried your best, just go to sleep. I'm gonna make things all better tomorrow. When you wake up, it's gonna be a new day and you can try again. Sometimes it's just okay to put your sword down. I think wounded feminine energy is just always, you're being in defense mode because you just feel like you always have something to fight for, or you have to always defend yourself against something. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm not fighting everything and everyone anymore. I'm fighting for myself. The most powerful, strongest thing that we as women can do, the most revolutionary thing that we can do as women is to fight for ourselves, our mental freedom, our hearts, our bodies. God, there is a significant difference in appreciating the past and living in it. A lot of the times, we as women, we'll try to just block out, traumatic experiences, just unpleasant experiences in our dating history. But it's important that, we appreciate those experiences and what they taught us with appreciation for who we used to be when we were with this person, and what they taught us, because essentially I look back and I'm like, dang. For example, like I remember I dated this one dude and there was this video I had that went freaking viral. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. That went viral where I was cuddling him and I gave him like kisses. That video got like 1 million views. And when we broke up, I hated it. I hated it because I felt so exposed and I felt embarrassed because I had put this act of love out on the internet and I ended up getting cheated on. Played. I just saw 3 white birds go by. All right, so we gonna talk about it. I felt embarrassed. I felt so ashamed. When I look back on certain relationships that I've had and I look at like the things that I accomplished within myself, not in that relationship, but like the things that I embodied and the things that I accomplished in certain connections with other people that I've dated, I'm like, okay, it wasn't about you. God wanted to show me my potential, my success, my glory, my power, my magic. It was about me. It was never about them. To any of the women watching this, just appreciate the past. Don't live in it. And don't shame yourself. Don't guilt yourself for that. Just look back and be like, and look at the highlights of yourself when you were your peak best self, when you dated these people that, yes, may have wronged you, but look at the things that you accomplished and the things that you grew from and the things that you learned. I want to wrap this up with something that I wrote yesterday. And it's not so much of a poem, it's just like free expression. You guys know that I have been writing a lot lately. I've been in many toxic environments, connections that have limited my sexuality, femininity, and creative expression, all of which used to affect how I view and feel about myself. People pleasing, squeezing my personality, my passions, interests, voice, and even my body to fit in places that were in fact too small for me. Black girls are often taught more so to blend in rather than to stand out, which is essentially just being their authentic selves. I feel happiest when I'm creating. Everywhere I've lived, I find myself exploring new things. I'm constantly discovering new sides to myself. And even on days I don't feel my best, I'm now able to see the beauty in that uncomfortability because I know it'll lead to more self-awareness and expansion. As uncomfortable as it is, I actually love facing new challenges. I don't know, man, God's just a really good author, and I'm glad I'm stubborn enough to always get back up and push through painful setbacks. I'm glad that God never gave up on me, but more so, I am glad that I never gave up on myself. I have truly chosen to be here and to stay. I've spent this chapter of my life moving sweet and slow, retracing my steps all the way back to my youth. Indeed, God's a good author. I truly am always divinely and exactly where I am supposed to be. I don't have to be perfect to receive love, nor do I have to be in order to give it. It is always accessible to me. I only feel like a masterpiece when I am mastering peace within myself. That's when I feel the most beautiful. There's always something spectacular that I can share with others. Bob Marley said, even though there's so much trouble in the world, all you gotta do is give a little, dig a little. And when you think you found the solution, odds are it's just another illusion. I used to chase happiness with such toil and grit. I now realize that you have to choose it. Happiness is the branch that stems from a tree of joy. And that tree can only grow, of course, when you water it with hard work and pure intention. Maybe that's why so many of us are wilting. I feel so good. I really had to get that off my chest. I love Virgo season. I used to not. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. As an Aries, I used to not like Virgo season because it forced me to face some parts of myself I wasn't really ready to. It was your girl Talia Yasmin. Stay tuned. I will link all of my socials in the description box below so you can join the fam bam, so you can always stay tapped in. The things that I explained throughout this video, I will also be leaving in the description box below. And I'm so glad whoever tuned into this video that you shared this space, this time for not with me, but for yourself. I hope that you continue to love yourself through all these uncomfortable changes that life is throwing at you, because you do deserve to be here, okay? All right, bye guys.